Hello everyone, I am FrostCloud on my Mr. Chaos the Cunning Wolf channel. And today I will be reacting to MLP Season 8, Episode 23, Sounds of Silence. Now, based on some screenshots I've seen based around this episode, apparently Applejack and Fluttershy are going to be visiting this place or island, I don't know what it is, filled with all these new ponies that have an interesting lifestyle, like some sort of cult or something. I don't even know if it's a cult, I don't even know, maybe it's a different country or something, but it seems interesting, and for some reason the title, like, Sounds of Silence, to me just seems interesting to me. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what, cries of help are not being heard or something? I mean, we can only find out one way. So without further ado, let's get started.
I can't believe you two are going on a friendship quest. This is amazing!
What do you mean, Twilight? We've been on one together before.
Yeah, the Lost Pegasus back in Season 6.
Up the same ponies for a second quest.
That is special.
Must be.
Not really, I mean, that's just a matter of coincidence.
The peaks of peril?
Ah,
that
it's
even
just
mean?
a name. It doesn't mean anything.
Like how Cloudsdale is in the clouds and the Crystal Empire is made of crystal?
Fair point. So, what can you tell us about?
Just like at Starlight's Village, you know, train came at a dead end and then it reversed.
Pony else is going out as far as we are.
Maybe they know something we don't.
Now, Fluttershy, I've told you a dozen times. There's.
Wait, who's that? Maybe he's just old and he's going insane or something.
This is no time for visiting varmints. We're on a friendship quest, remember?
Yes, but actually...
Come on! We're burning daylight!
I know, but what I found out is that...
Now we gotta get up that peak! I figure if we use some rope and elbow grease, we can make it up half...
Applejack! Can you please listen to me?
Yeah, this is hey, it kind of looks like a hippogriffy a little bit, you know, because of the tree houses. Oh, cool! It's like the something apparel version of Princess Celestia there, like the tallest one.
I'm Applejack, and this here's Fluttershy.
I'm guessing she's the queen of the city.
If you have any...
Oh, they're mutes?
We're here to help.
Why do they have tails like lions?
Applejack! Fluttershy! Remember?
Coming off as a bit
Maybe they
condescending a
don't
little bit.
understand, but these Kieran don't show anything.
Oh, they're called Kieran,
Well,
okay. And I hear there's a song in this episode, I forget what it's called, but wonder how it's gonna come into play.
Knock, knock! Now you say, who's there? Police! Police who? Police! Say something!
How's that joke even funny?
He's coming on! Achoo!
Gesundheit.
Oh, don't! Oh, for the love of Celestia! Can't you just say something?
Gotcha! Sorry, but that was too good. Oh, you don't know how much I miss jokes. Hilarity. Am I pronouncing that right? Some words I haven't said in a while. Hi, I'm Autumn Blaze. You've just arrived, and perhaps you're tired or hungry or reflective and want to...
Her deal.
Of course you haven't, so just, I will just follow me.
That was something, all right.
Well, Applejack doesn't lie.
Vow of silence?
That's why
Why?
they asked me to leave.
I hope it's not a sore subject,
I was
but you might...
That's what I was predicting.
You'd rather not talk about it?
No.
I understand.
I'd rather sing.
Oh, this is a song.
But then one day a fight broke out and hurtful words were said. Flaring tempers were inflamed, destruction quickly spread.
Okay, those are...
Head to head,
I mean, those are cool design, but they're scary at the same time.
Seriously, there's only so long that Sudoku can keep you entertained.
Did she mean Sudoku? I've heard of those puzzles.
they didn't like my jokes and songs and daily dose of news.
Well, I mean, not everybody watches the news.
No matter how hard I schooled them, fear of hurt is still what ruled them. Sometimes you gotta let it
feel I can relate to this somewhat.
No pony should give up feeling their feelings just to keep from getting angry.
Well, I mean, personally I find that debatable, but...
The Kirin are usually peaceful and kind. But when they get mad, they turn into Myrics, creatures made of fire and vengeance.
That seemed less scary when it was in a song.
Oh wait, they don't even see that? Oh, so is that MLP logic explained?
Kirin decided to make sure it would never happen again.
But that's no reason to stop talking.
Again, I find that debatable.
What are they doing? Maybe they...
Oh wait, I know, oh no, I know what they're gonna do.
To the stream of silence. If we hit that water, we'll never be able to talk or feel anything ever again.
Yeah, this is almost similar to Starlight's Village, where all the main six would turn gray and they got those equal cutie marks.
I know you're worried about fighting, but friends can disagree without causing a ruckus.
Well, I mean, it could be what triggers a falling out. I mean, I talk from experience.
We don't always see eye to eye, but we never let that get in the way of our friendship.
Again, that's debatable, but okay.
I think they're trying to say something.
Okay, are you hungry? Oh no, some Kirin trapped in a well? Okay, baby fish. Baby fish mouth? Something? Anything? Just write it down! Ugh, this is making me furious. Would you excuse me? I'll be right back.
You were...
Okay, that is cool. It's like liquid food coloring.
'Cause rainbows won't light up the
Reprise.
sky. 'Cause rainbows won't light up the sky unless
Okay, I like this voice pitch. I'm sorry, I'm just very much an audio person when it comes to music. Oh. Okay, that is awesome. Well, that was a pretty abrupt ending, you know, just ending with a bro huff, huh? Wow, that was definitely something. The first thing I want to go over, is the relatability, as I mentioned at some point during the reaction. Like, the whole idea of the Kirins, like, giving up their speech, you know, just so they could avoid pain or, like, conflict and everything, you know. I still feel like that sometimes, but as some of you know, if some of you, you know, are regular watchers of mine, you know that a while back I mentioned that I went through a falling out with friends that I thought were close to me. And the cause of it was a disagreement, and it caused me to think, you know, develop this sort of, like, semi-knowledge, if you would call it that, okay, is an opposing opinion all it takes to end a friendship? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe all I have to do to not lose friends is just not to have an opposing opinion, but, I mean, that's unhealthy, but I was convinced at that point that that was the only solution, but... And, you know, I still find it a bit debatable, like, things can still happen, and, you know, I'm all for preventing bad things from happening at all cost, but that's why I said, like, 2 or 3 times during the reaction, like, that's debatable. I mean, you know, yeah, an opposing opinion or a slight disagreement shouldn't be the ending of a friendship, but I mean... Unfortunately, I've learned that's the case sometimes. Some people can fly off the handle, they can overreact, and, you know, they can not want to be friends with you over something as petty as just a disagreement. So that's what I meant by there was relatability, and, you know, that's what made me really like this episode. I like episodes, I may have said this before, but I like episodes that have a lot of relatability in them. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people in the Brony fandom are just really for any show in general are pretty much the same way. Also, to look at it from another perspective, another reason why, you know, sometimes I get the feeling like maybe it's best to just stay silent in a friendship is because, you know, there's certain people out there who have that personality where they don't really like saying how they honestly feel about their friend doing something, you know, that they may feel is wrong or maybe unconventional or something. Like, you know, if you tell them that, hey, you like this or you're into that or something, like, they may not say anything because they have that personality where they don't really like confrontation, you know, they don't like drama, and, you know, I respect that, but at the same time, you know, it's problematic because it's only a matter of time until eventually they're going to tell you the truth, and they're going to leave you hanging for a long time. It's like, All this time they could have told you, but they kept it from you for so long. So yeah, that's another example of, me, more often nowadays being afraid to say anything major in a friendship, because I'm also afraid that I'll have one of those friends that's afraid of, confrontation or drama. They won't say how they really feel immediately, and they won't do so for probably a long time. And I have a friend, like, I'm not going to disclose his name, but I have a friend who told me that, he has that character trait. He has the character trait where he's afraid of confrontation. He's afraid of telling people, like, what they're doing is wrong, unlike the other former friend of mine. But, when this other friend of mine feels comfortable enough to talk to me again, that's definitely something I'm going to confront him about. I'm going to say, hey, yeah, I understand people have this character trait, but you don't have to be afraid of telling me these kind of things. You can tell me, and with enough courage, it could be enough to change me or something. But yeah, I'll stop going on, That's what I meant by relatability, There's times where I feel like just being silent is better, just to avoid drama, to avoid falling out, and yeah, so on. And for me, it's not really just friendship, it's really, like, relationships in general. Like, I've stated it, like, several times before in, various videos, but I do not ever want a relationship in my life ever, and what I mean by relationship is, like a romantic one. And it's because, after everything I've went through with my family, the divorce and whatnot, I don't ever want to do it because I know something could possibly go wrong, there could be, conflict, which I don't understand why anybody would want that in a relationship, and, there could be, like a breakup or something, and we all know how fun breakups are. So yeah, there's an even bigger example, like me, an absolute for me is I'm absolutely going to avoid all relationships at all costs because, something could possibly go wrong, and, it's not like it's an entirely bad thing, I'm half happy the way I am, and what I mean by half happy is, yes, I do have my waves of depression every now and then, but as you know right now, I'm actually going through a pretty big wave of positivity right now. Like, I've found a way to make videos more frequent now. I have this plan, where I can get videos out a bit quicker, yet put, the same amount of effort into them as I would versus me using my character. And you guys get the style of videos, you used to like, back in the glory days of my channel, good old live action videos. So yeah, videos done in the flesh, if that's even the right word. But getting back on topic here, that's what I mean by half happy. Like, this half is, the positivity, and the other half is like negativity. But, I'm finding that at this point the pattern is pretty much manageable, I've gotten used to it. But let's talk more about the episode. The song, I don't really remember what it's called. I'll probably search it up later on when, if I ever care to review this episode. Because, nowadays I'm considering, reactions are essential, but reviews are pretty much optional. Like, what I'm gonna do is pretty much just pick out a random episode I do want to talk more about, then do a review on that, because, of course, more effort is gonna go into that, so. But anyway, yeah, I like the song, yeah, obviously wouldn't call it one of my favorites, but it was a catchy one, and it was a unique one too, for a song that features none of the main six, or Starlight, or really anybody that we know more. This is the first, well, no, not really the first time, I mean, we've had Countess Coloratura do 2 songs, and she was a new character at the time, but, you know what I mean, like, this feels like one of those songs that, feels very different, it feels kind of special in that regards, sounds different, different singer and all, but, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all get the picture. And the whole idea for this village, the whole layout, the whole, just storyline, the Karens, just in general, their fear, so they wouldn't turn into Myrics, which, as I said, look pretty scary, but, they have a very cool design, but versus Mount Eris during the Storm King's reign, this is also another example of a civilization living in fear, only they're not hiding from a greedy tyrant looking to take over the world, but, they're hiding from, conflict, in a way, they're kind of hiding from themselves, like, they're afraid that, if they, sort of be themselves, if they talk, something's gonna go wrong. So, again, kind of like me, but that's what I mean, like, the Mount Eris citizens, they were living in Sequestria for a long time to hide from, an actual threat, the Storm King. Like, they weren't afraid to talk, they were still having fun under the water. But here, they're pretty much scared of themselves, if you know what I mean. They're scared of, their own voices, because they're afraid it's going to cause something. So, that's what I mean. This is an example of another civilization sort of living in fear. And their designs in general, like, they even remind me somewhat of the hippogriffs, too. They have those unique hooves, that kind of look a bit like claws. I'm pretty sure they're not claws. And, I like how their tails kind of look like lions, And I like how they had, the fluff, that even went down, their chest, like an actual lion. So I wonder if there's someone like me, obviously my OC is half husky and half alicorn, so, it's sort of like a canine corn, if that even makes sense. But here, like, the Karens are basically like half feline and half pony, so, and I find that's a pretty cool design, and the last I checked, I don't think any of them have wings or horns, so I think they're all earth ponies that are, hybrided with felines. So, I mean, I find it very interesting, and thinking of their, speaking of their population, I don't think I saw a single male Karen anywhere. I don't, like, obviously they would look like stallions, or maybe they're just femboys or something, but I don't think I saw a single male anywhere. I mean, it just seems interesting. Like, maybe they didn't have time to do that, during the production of this episode. But, I mean, I still find it kind of odd. I mean, in all of Equestria, you'll see your occasional stallion someplace here and there. I mean, we got Big Mac. I mean, we got Shining Armor. We got Mr. Cake. You know what I mean? Like, in the mainland of Equestria, we see our stallion characters. We know who they all are. But here, I don't see anyone anywhere. But, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way it is. I mean, even Starlight's Village has okay. You all get the point, I don't find it, sexist. I just find it interesting. But, maybe it was just because of time constraints. Maybe they were caught up with the designs. They're like, we're happy with these designs, whatever. So, I don't see it as a flaw. I just see it as a bit odd, that's all. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, and versus the previous episode, in Season 6, where Applejack and Fluttershy had their first friendship quest, I believe, and, well, yeah, they said, this was their second friendship quest, and their first one was going to Las Pegasus, via the Season 6 episode, Viva Las Pegasus. I would honestly have to say I kind of like this episode better than Viva Las Pegasus, simply because this has more relatability into it. Like I said, I'm amongst those type of people who like an episode or a movie or a piece of media because of how much relatability. I'm even the same way with songs, so yeah, if I like the message in a song good enough, then yeah, I'll go download it. So first impressions, I really do like this episode. If I were to ever review this episode someday, if I so choose, I can very much see myself giving this episode either a green or blue 10 out of 10. I mean, that's how I feel, how close it is for me. Like, it's not just the relatability, but the cool designs, the nice song. It wasn't horrible. It was actually kind of catchy. So yes, this episode's definitely amongst my favorites in Season 8. Anyway, that was my reaction to MLP Season 8, Episode 23, Sounds of Silence. Hope you all enjoyed it. My name is FrostCloud. Thank you all for watching, and you have a wonderful day.